Alright everybody, we are up for the morning. This was the first time we actually were like moored to something overnight, and it was kind of nice, just relaxing, chilling. It was a little more stressful though than being at anchor, because I was always worried being in the city like this. Muscatine, it's not a super small town, and you're like right downtown. If people could come over and mess with you on the boat. What I do for my security system here is I throw a 1-inch chisel in here, and then you can't open the door. But then if I had to get out, if the boat was sinking, all I have to do is pull it out real quick, instead of having like a lock or something there. Like if there was an emergency and you had to get out if the boat was sinking or on fire or any crazy things, you don't want to have something you gotta fiddle with. So it can be a little nerve-wracking being by people. People are the ones you gotta watch out for in society nowadays. Everybody's messed up. Anyway, so it's supposed to stop raining here about 8 to 9. Last night in the middle of the night we got some good 30-mile-an-hour winds, but it wasn't too bad. It's supposed to be kind of windy today, and about 6 or 7 there might be a thunderstorm. So my plan is now, it's about 9. We'll get all geared up here and head out for a few hours. Lock and Dam number 17 is 15 miles away. So if we could make Lock and Dam number 17 today, that would be amazing, depending on the weather. I'd love to make it another 50 miles. Me and the boat can do it. It just all depends on what the weather wants to give us. So, yesterday going aground, that kind of sucked. It affected my ego. I was like, oh, sad face. But I was talking to a buddy last night, and he said, hey, don't let it get you down. You know, the boat's okay, you're okay. You know, how low is Old Man River? Historic lows. It's not like anybody's really dealt with this before or knows how to deal with it. And then he told me, you know, don't trust the city clerk. So it was probably just some secretary in the front office, and you go, how deep's the marina? And she goes, 4 feet. Has no idea. Probably never comes down here. So I have to remember that for in the future. We have a blow up dinghy, and I might end up inflating that and just rowing into shore from now on to get gas, just in case. But we'll kind of play it by ear and see what happens and what the different marinas look like. I know after in Clinton, Iowa there, when it was 2.5 feet, and it was 2.5 feet, and we didn't go aground then, but it was close. I was getting a little iffy about that and thought about the dinghy. And then at this last one, you could see it looked real shallow around, but I after talking to the lady on the phone, I didn't know if they like dredged out a little channel. And how it was on the chart plotter, it was like 4 feet, 4 feet, 4 feet, 1.9, boop. And so I don't know, it was like there was a hump there, and I don't know if somebody else got stuck before, and then they like threw the motor in reverse and it made a hump there, or if they were going out of the marina and it's so shallow and they gave it too much gas and it created like a mound of mud or dirt there, or what. But normally on the chart plotter there's a good gradual increase of depth or whatever, and you can kind of judge and whatnot. This one, it was just 4 feet, 4 feet, boom. And I was already going real slow, so we didn't go up on it real bad or anything. And then what happened, which made it worse though, was the wind. And then that pushed us, the front was on, and then it pushed the back on and whatnot. And how we ended up getting it off was the fire department came and they helped. I was throwing the anchor in before they got there off of the bow and trying to pull it, and then that was making some progress. And then another guy on a boat came, and I threw the rope to him, and he pulled me out, straight out like the bow. We just turned it. If you could see the video yesterday, we were like sideways. So, but right in front of the docks it was deeper, and then the farther you got into the harbor, it was more and more shallow. So we just pulled the front end over and then went straight out, and we were good to go. And then I anchored, and then the fire department search and rescue team, they showed up and they're like, "Are you okay?" And the guy on the boat, the other boat, was funny. He's like, "I got here before you guys." I thought that was kind of amusing. And then when I was coming over this, I was like, "Hey, is there anywhere to dock, you know, because I got to get fuel." That was why I was coming here. And they said, "There's a dock over there you can use. You know, it's not always a public dock, but you can stay there overnight because tonight there's going to be some 30, 40 mile an hour winds. Are you going to be okay?" And I'm like, well, at first they said high winds. "Are you going to be okay docked up there?" And I'm like, "Well, what kind of winds are we talking about?" Like, and they're like, "Well, what can you handle?" I'm like, 40, 50 mile an hour winds. And they're like, "Oh, you'll be fine. It's like 30. And I laughed. I'm like, "Oh, okay." Because when you say high winds, and if there was like a tornado, then no, we couldn't handle that. But otherwise, just 30 mile an hour winds, that's not that bad. We just went through that in rain yesterday. So, anyway, thank you very much to the Muscatine Fire Department, the fire chief. I called him after we got off the ground there, and I left a message for him saying thank you. I appreciate all his help and everything, and it was really cool that they let me stay over here at night at the dock. I don't know if they let everybody do that or whatnot, so it was kind of convenient because after getting off the ground, it was dark, as you guys could see, and with the wind coming and everything and all the stress, it was just good to say I'm done for the night and call it a new day the next morning and start anew. So I'm gonna get suited up here and we'll get untied from the dock and we'll head out. All right, we are all suited up and ready to head up on deck. Still a little muddy. I was hoping the rain would get most of that mud off. That was from throwing the anchor in yesterday and pulling. One of the things I forgot, your department search and rescue, when they said that I could come over to this dock, is I asked, "Hey, are you sure that dock's okay?" And it was real cool. They came over here and then they went right in front of it with their depth finder and found out it was 4.5 feet. And then they came back over to me where I was anchored and they told me it was okay. So that was really cool too of them. So thank you very, very much, Muscatine Fire Department and search and rescue people. I greatly appreciate all your help. Here on the chart plotter, as you can see, we're in 4.5 feet, just like they said. Definitely a good thing we have a swing keel, because if we had a fixed keel, or if the keel was down and 6 feet, we would definitely not be getting in here. So the gas stops is going to end up being inflatable dinghy, row to shore, fill up the gas cans just to be safe, because Old Man River has historic water levels, and you just kind of got to go and play it by ear and, you know, come up with the best plan you can on the fly so that everything goes according to plan and nothing bad happens. So, all right, I'm gonna get unmoored, set up boat beacon and change it from moored to heading out at power, and we'll head on down to lock and dam number 17 here. That's the plan for the day. Alright, we got the motor all started up, and I don't think I'm going to go forward here. I'm going to go reverse out the way I came in, just to be safe, because we know we can get out that way. Well, that looks a little intimidating, and it looks like it's not very deep at all right in front of us. So, into the rain we go. And is Larry and Daryl, some of our subscribers that are following along. They actually make boat enclosures and dodgers, and I'm in contact with him and Daryl, and they're going to try coming up with a prototype for an enclosure or a dodger kind of system for the Catalina 25, and they're going to let me maybe prototype it, and then you guys would also be able to get one as well after you see me use it, and they figure out how, like, the dimensions and all that. And that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool, because I know there's some other guys out there in the Catalina group that like to go out on the boats a lot. but being in the elements of the back cockpit makes it a little difficult compared to some of the bigger boats that have Dodgers and all that. So it'll be kind of cool. Something new for the Catalina 25 community that will you guys will have to follow along, and I'll keep you informed on its progress and what we come up with, and hopefully in maybe a month or so when we get downriver we'll be able to meet up with Larry and Daryl, and we'll be able to install one on this boat and see how it is. Alright everybody, that is Muscatine, Iowa. Maybe in the comments below somebody can tell me how to pronounce it. So that was the dock there. See the zoom that we stayed overnight. And now we push there. There's the bridge south of the city. It's kind of cool. Last night it lights up in different colors. That's pretty cool. And down the river we go. Alright everybody, that radar is pretty amazing. Said the weather was gonna break here. The weather's breaking. I see blue skies ahead. The Willie Nelson song. Blue skies smiling at me. Nothing but blue skies do I see. So we will push on. I am loving the ability to look up this weather right on your phone, and then you're able to choose your weather windows. It's pretty cool. Although I was hoping it was going to rain, you'll get that mud off the bow. But I don't have any really spare drinking water at the moment to use. We have one 5-gallon jug left. I used the 2 that I had, I emptied, or the 3 that I had, I emptied into the lake yesterday to get some weight off the boat when I went aground, and then I moved them to the back here, and just try and get as much weight off the front there and get the front lifted up when we pulled it over to the side. So the next stop we'll have to get some more water. That was something I forgot last night to ask the Masonic brother get some water. I was just so happy that I was going to get some gas, and that I'll be able to make it from Muscatine there to the next stretch down. That's like 67 miles till the next gas tank, or 70 almost. And we had 6 gallons at the time, and we were making between 7 and 10 miles a gallon, and that would have been pushing it. We have the 2-gallon spare tank for the spare motor that we could have used. We could have fuel transfer pumped it up there, but still, that would have been 8 gallons. We would have had, well, 8.5, and we had to go 67. It would have been close. It would have been pushing it. So I'm very happy to the Masonic brothers there in Muscatine. I appreciate it. His name was Ray. He said he'd check out the channel, and sometime he'd come up to Minnesota and visit. Yeah, I can definitely do this. It's gonna get up to, the weather says now, 68, and it should be kind of partly cloudy, sunny the rest of the day. Kind of gusty winds, 15 to 20 miles an hour. That's a piece of cake. We got this. We got this. Flock of birds out in the river. I have no idea what they're going to do when we get up there. I can't go around them because they're like right across the whole channel. And hopefully they don't all poop on us. This could be kind of cool. This could be like one of them things in, I remember movies of like Africa when they're going through the savannah, Serengeti and stuff, and you have the wildebeest and all the birds fly off. And don't know what these blackbirds are. These are new birds. I have not seen these kind of birds before. So I'm going to have to Google what kind of bird they are. Here we go. That was cool. Big old pelicans there. All go laying back over there. Thank you, birds. So we head down the river. Chris Knight has a song called "The River," and I sing that. So I had that stuck in my head the other day. I believe that is a little eagle. Not positive. Alright, so while we're just kind of going here, we don't have much to do. I was thinking I could help out Larry and Daryl because they want to come up with a prototype enclosure for a Cat 25, and it's kind of a hobby they do, and they want to see if they can do it on the fly, and it's kind of cool, and I like the idea, and really cool to see some subscribers. So one of the things I was thinking here is that I would show you is kind of how the cockpit is laid out. We have our winches on each side. We have our grill there. I don't know if they're how big we're talking. I don't know if it's just a Dodger they're thinking, or if they're thinking like a full enclosure. And if it's a full enclosure, this A-frame would be removed, and then we would have the frame here, the white with the green, for the solar panel. So if we could integrate, like it come all the way back to that, that would be cool. And then I have the Dodger frame. I don't know if we would incorporate that into it exactly, or what we would do with that, or what the plan would be. I'm kind of new to all this. I've never even know they made full folding enclosures like that for cockpits. It's really cool. And the pictures he was showing me, that they do, they restore some old seats and stuff. It was really, really cool because he's very talented. So, kind of work along here and work with them, and we'll kind of, if they have any questions about anything on the boat that they need me to point out or measure or anything, we'll get that done for them, and we'll see how this plays out. I'm kind of excited. Excited. I was kind of joking. I was asking, like, do you guys have a company name or anything you want me to mention? And he's like, no, it's just a hobby, but you can call us Larry and Daryl. It's kind of a funny little name. I'm like, okay, cool. It's not like the Three Stooges, but you know, the two guys that are amazing boat. What would the name be? I don't know if it's a tailor for boat fabric stuff, or if it's what the exact somebody that makes tailors and clothes. Seamstress, that's a girl. Not exactly sure what the term would be. So let me know, Larry and Daryl, in the comments below what the exact term would be for someone that works on boat canvas enclosures. That would definitely be interesting. And we can share it with the people in our videos in the next video. We'll all learn more cool nautical terms. I guess another thing that you gotta worry about is, like, if your sail is up, if there's a Dodger in that, you're gonna have to be able to get up and around and up to the front if you need to easily, so it doesn't block it. I know he was the ones that he showed me, they had like windows you could put up, and then it was in and out like no problem. And then it even had like the back part was up, and it had like a slant, and then it went down and there was a Dodger. So I'm not sure if that's what he's talking about, or if he's talking about just a Dodger. We will find out. I'll ask him some more questions tonight when I get at anchor, and then I'm sure he will, Larry and Daryl, you guys will be watching this video, and then you guys can let me know as well what you guys have in mind, what you need me to do. One thing I was thinking though is with our main sheet for our boom, it connects right here. So I don't know how we would incorporate that in with a Dodger. I was just thinking about that because my Traveler isn't the normal Traveler that would go on the back of the boom, and we have actually a shorter boom than a standard Catalina 25. So I think maybe the next day or two I'll measure that, and I'll get some pictures from before when it shows the boat with the mast up, so you can kind of get an idea of it. I think it's 2 or 3, 2 feet shorter. It basically goes to the end of the sail, and normally they have that extra bit of boom on the end on the Cat 25s, but ours basically goes right to where the sail is. And there's a little bit of extra room so you can tighten your outhaul for your sail. Kind of warmed up with the sun that came out, but I'm just going to leave all this stuff on in case it does start to rain again or anything. Nice and clear. Looks like blue skies, so I don't think it's gonna. But I just want to be safe. I'll give it like another hour and I'll check the radar again, and if everything's still looking good and nothing's going to change, we'll probably go down and take off our rain gear. Alright, here we are, coming up to Lock and Dam number 17. Here we have Lock and Dam number 17. Focusing on the deck hardware not up in front of us. Here is Lock and Dam number 17. We got our green light headed in. And we are through Lock and Dam number 17. He said it's a good idea you're going down the Tennessee Tom because they have more locks and dams and get to regulate it more. Once you get past St. Louis, you get into the lower Mississippi. Some pelicans. And it's not really locks and dams that are designed to hold back water. They're more designed as storm surge so there's not flooding. So the farther you get south, the worse it is. There you can see the water level. We're at like 12 feet. 15 feet. Normally it would be up in the 30s. Ooh, we got some current coming off of this one, right around that corner. Started to push the front of the boat over towards the shore. Oop, now it's pushing the back. Oop, you can feel it. I'm sure you guys saw it there too. So now our next concern is where are we going to get gas? Because the next couple marinas all looked real shallow. So I'm going to try calling ahead, see what we got. I'm going to also put in a call on the Minnesota River, or Mississippi River Angels group on Facebook. And what was the other group? There was another group on there that I was going to add it to, but I can't remember. And then the Great Loop group. So I'm going to work on that, and we'll figure out where we're going to get some gas, because I don't want to run out like I did yesterday where I went 2 days. I want to make sure we always have enough. We'll get through today and we'll be good, and we'll still have our tanks left for tomorrow. But then tomorrow, I don't know where we would get gas, because everywhere all the way down to Fort Madison that I called, it's like 1.5 feet in their harbors. So let's see if we have our blow-up dinghy in there, and we'll inflate it, and we'll see how that works. Alright everybody, yeah, t-shirt weather. It's crazy how it went from this morning how it was, and we're in our rain gear with our goggles on. And now it's like 70 degrees, kind of a wind, but not much. And then after being Arctic the last couple of weeks of 70 degrees, it feels tropical. It's amazing. We're going to check and Queen up here in a little bit. It's a passenger cruise ship. We haven't seen that one yet, I don't think. We kept running into that, what was it, American Spirit or whatnot. Once we get close to her, I'll get some clips for you guys. Oh, cool. There's the American Queen. She's got feathered stacks. She's fancy. So I think I'm going to pull over here outside of the channel and let her pass. Sorry about that. And let her pass. And that'll be a little bit easier for us. Easier for her too, and she don't have to worry. That's definitely a beautiful, fine ship indeed. Alright, there we go. Get a better shot of that. So, pass on her one. It's probably one of the biggest boats we've seen so far. It's not as long as the barges, but it's taller. I forgot to look up the other day what the term was. Feathered stacks and something else that made the steamships fancy. But if you guys were watching the other day and you were wondering what I was talking about, that's what it is. Up on her smokestacks up there, the feathering. It's fancy. American Queen. I think it should be called, and they can play that song, Mississippi Queen, you know what I mean. Alright, now we gotta watch out. About that wasn't the best filming. I gotta watch out for the wake here, and I was moving the camera all over. She has a good wake on her. Woo. Oh yeah, yeah. That was a little bit of a roller coaster ride and fun. Cool shots of the American Queen. Kind of cool, thought I'd share with you. An old derelict barge that's sitting there rotting. Alright, here we're going to go through the Teespring rail drawbridge. It's all open already, so it's not getting much use. Or if it ever gets used. For some reason that thing on the port side there does not look like it would ever reach to that side. But maybe it goes out and then something like extends. Or something extends out of this side. I have no idea how that works. Might have to Google that one. See if we can zoom in here. I don't think that's been used in a long time. Yeah, I'd definitely say that's not in use anymore. Looks like there used to be two, because they still have the other pillars, but nothing's connected on them. Maybe it was an old one and then they redid it and moved it over, and that one shut down. I'm not really sure how that works. Well, everybody, So it looks like we're able to call ahead, and there was somebody in the Great Loop group who has a fishing boat in Fort Madison, or there's somebody else a little bit south of there that they would be able to come up in a fishing boat and bring us to shore back and forth so we can fill up all of our gas cans and all of our water jugs. And that would be way better than a little blow-up inflatable dinghy. Eventually we will probably have to bust that out and use it. But since when we went aground yesterday, I had to dump all my water except one 5-gallon jug to try to get rid of as much weight as I could. I want to make sure I got that filled up because water is life. We got a ton of food, but if we don't have drinking water, that's not good. One of those 5-gallon jugs lasts me about a week. I go through about a half a gallon to a gallon of water a day. Most of the time closer to a half a gallon. So the 5.6-gallon jug, it's about a week. So with 4 of them, we got a month of water, which is good. And I always want to make sure I have that because you don't want to end up having any weird, crazy situation where you're like, oh my god, I'm going to die of thirst. It's 2022. People should never die of thirst. So, it's pretty nice out. It looks like the clouds are going to roll in here. It's going to have a little bit more of a storm tonight, but not like a storm like last night, but just rain, and that'll be good because maybe then that can off some of that mud that we have up there. The anchor's out up there because I stopped for a little while ago when I was trying to plan out where I was going to go and who I was trying to get a hold of to figure out the gas situation. I, in all of my planning, never anticipated that I wouldn't be able to get into marinas because the water level was too low on the Mississippi. I just kind of wasn't in the plan, so now we got to make do and adjust. So we're probably going to anchor right up over here. Kind of, let's see if I can put it, there's the buoy, and we'll get up behind that. Hopefully no other barges use it for parking, and we'll be good throughout the night. Alright, that worked out perfect. We got anchored right before the storm's coming. I threw out both anchors just to be safe. We drop them kind of right next to each other and then you let out both ropes so that when you move they don't really twist up too much or anything. And then having one on each side there in the front, it kind of keeps us from fishtailing as much, but still doing it a little bit because of the current and then the wind. The current's coming from that way, the wind's coming from that way. So the wind will push us this way. It'll die down a little and it'll push us back towards our port side here. Our anchors are holding strong. So that's good. That's good. Let's see if I can get one of them up here. Not really. There you can see them better. Got out about 100 feet of rope for each. I don't want to go too much. And if we swing out into the channel or anything, because we're probably about the current without the wind would push us over there, but with the wind it kind of pushes us back over towards the channel. But we're outside of it, so it's only supposed to be like this for a little while. So we'll go down in, set our anchor alarm, and batten down through this little storm, and come back. Alright everybody, so we're down in the cabin salon and chilling. Both anchors are holding good, and I think we're going to call it a night. This storm should only last for about an hour or two, and then I'm going to get up real early. We'll head down to Fort Madison, and we'll meet one of the fellow Great Looper guys from the American Great Loop Association, And hopefully he'll come out in his fishing boat, and then he'll be able to bring me some fuel, and we can get this all figured out. Because otherwise, this fuel situation I did not anticipate, and it's kind of sucky. But we'll get through. If we have to, we'll get a team of mules and pull this thing down the goddamn river. So, alright. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you in the morning.